Welcome to INN's Student. INN Student is a platform for law students to come here and deliver a lecture on the topic of their choice. Today we have with us law student Kenvi Gutka. She is going to speak on offences against children. She is from KES Shri Jayanatilal H Patel College of Law. So without wasting further time, I would request Kenvi to commence her lecture. Thank you.
Be their voice, defend their rights. With this proverb, I, Ms. Kenvi Gutka, start my today's topic, that is offences against children. It is both a privilege and a responsibility to stand before you today to address a deeply concerning issue, that is offences against children. Children are the most vulnerable members of our society, deserving of love, protection and guidance. Yet too often they come across such crimes that strip away their innocence and threaten their future. Crimes against children take many forms like abuse, neglect, exploitation and trafficking and much more. These offenses not only harm the individual child but also weaken the very foundation of a society. When a child suffers, the consequences extend far beyond their immediate pain, affecting their physical, mental well-being for years to come. We must recognize that protecting the children is not just a duty of a parent or a law enforcement, it is a collective responsibility. Schools, communities, government, individuals shall come together to ensure a stricter laws, better enforcement and most importantly, awareness and education to prevent such crime. To fully grasp the significance of this topic, let's start with section 93 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita and work our way up to section 99, covering the critical points along the way. Section 93 says that whoever, being the father or a mother of a child under the age of 12 years or having the care of such child shall expose or leave such child in any place with the intention of wholly abandoning such child shall be punished with the imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 7 years or fine or both. Explanation: this section is not intended to prevent the trial of the offender for murder or culpable homicide as the case may be. If a child dies in such consequences, the imprisonment is for 7 years or fine or both. This section is a cognizable offence, bailable, triable by the magistrate of the first class. Let's take an example. A woman gives birth to a baby, but due to the financial struggle, she leaves the newborn baby near a temple and walks away. A passerby notices the baby and informs the police. Under this, since the mother deliberately abandoned the child, she is charged under section 93 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Section 94 says that whoever by secretly buying or otherwise disposing of the dead body of a child, whether such child die before or after or during the birth, intentionally conceals or endeavours to conceal the birth of the child shall be punished with the imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 2 years or with a fine or both. And under this section, the imprisonment is for 2 years or fine or both, which is cognizable, bailable, triable by the magistrate of the first class. Let's take an example. A hospital staff member, upon discovering a stillborn baby, secretly disposes of the body in the garbage instead of informing the authorities. This act is an offence under section 94 since it involves concealment of birth through secret disposal of the body. Section 95. Whoever hires, employs or engages any child to commit an offence shall be punished with the imprisonment of either description, which shall not be less than 3 years but which may extend to 10 years, and fine. And if the offence be committed, shall also be punished with the imprisonment of such offence by committed such a person himself, and the imprisonment is of 10 years. Hiring, employing, engaging or using a child for sexual exploitation is covered within the meaning of this section, and the imprisonment for not less than 3 years but may extend to 10 years and with fine. If offence be committed, additional punishment as provided for that offence. This is cognizable, non-bailable, triable by the magistrate of the first class. Example, a local gang leader hires a 14-year-old boy to steal the mobile phone from a crowded market, promising him that he will get a small amount of money for each phone stolen. The gang leader can be punished under section 95 of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, facing imprisonment of 10 years to 10 and fine or both. Section 96. Whoever by any means whatsoever induces any child below the age of 18 years to go from any place or to do any act with intent that such child below the age of 18 years may be, or knowing that it is likely that such child will be forced or seduced to illicit intercourse with another person, shall be punishable with imprisonment which may extend to 10 years and shall also be liable for a fine. Imprisonment for 10 years and fine, cognizable offence, non-bailable and triable by the court of session. Example, an adult person persuades a 16-year-old girl from a rural village to travel to the city with the promise of employment. Upon the arrival, the individual forces her into prostitution. This act constitutes a procuration of a child under section 96 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, as the adult induced the minor to relocate with the intent of engaging her in illicit intercourse. Section 97. Whoever kidnaps or abducts any child under the age of 10 years with the intention of taking dishonestly any movable property from the person of such child shall be punished with the imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 7 years and shall also be liable for a fine, which is uncognizable, non-bailable, triable by the magistrate of the first class. Example, a man takes a 9-year-old boy from a public park, promising him to buy a ice cream. Once scheduled, the man steals the child's designer jacket, branded shoes before leaving him stranded. This is clear offence under section 97. 98. Whoever sells, lets to hire or otherwise dispose of a child below the age of 18 years with intent that such child shall at any age be employed or used for the purpose of prostitution or illicit intercourse with any person or for any unlawful and immoral purpose, or knowing it to be likely that such person will at any age be employed or used for any such purpose, shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 10 years and shall also be liable for a fine. Explanation. When a female under the age of 18 years is sold, let for hire or otherwise disposed of to the prostitute or any other person who keeps or manages a brothel, the person so disposing of such female shall, until the contrary is proved, be presumed to have disposed of her with the intent that she shall be used for the purpose of prostitution. Explanation 2. For the purpose of this section, illicit intercourse means sexual intercourse between persons not united by marriage or by any union or tie which, though not amounting to a marriage, is recognized by the personal law or custom of the community to which they belong, or where they belong to different communities of both such communities, as constituting between them a quasi-marital relation. Again, under this section, the imprisonment is for 10 years and fine, cognizable, non-bailable, triable by the court of session. Example, an individual sells a 15-year-old girl to another person knowing that she will be forced into prostitution. This act constitutes the offence under section 98 as it involves disposing of a child with the intent that she be used for the prostitution. Section 99. Whoever buys or hires or otherwise obtains the possession of any child below the age of 18 years with the intent that such person shall at any age be employed or used for the purpose of prostitution or illicit intercourse with any person or any unlawful purpose, immoral purpose, or knowing it to be likely that such child will at any age be employed, used for any such purpose, shall be punished with the imprisonment of either description for a term which shall not be less than 7 years but which may extend to 14 years and shall also be liable for a fine. Explanation. Any prostitute or any person keeping or managing a brothel who buys, hires or otherwise obtain the possession of a female under the age of 18 years shall, until its contrary is proved, be presumed to have possession of such female with the intent that she shall be used for the purpose of prostitution. Imprisonment for not less than 7 years but which may extend to 14 years, and fine. Cognizable offence, non-bailable and triable by the Court of Session. Example, a person hires a 12-year-old boy under the guise of offering him a job in a factory. Instead, the child is coerced into participating in an illicit activities. The individual can be prosecuted under section 99 for obtaining the possession of such child with intent to use him for unlawful and immoral purpose. Now let's go through a case study. State of Haryana versus Rajaram. It is a significant case related to the offence of inducing a minor girl for illicit intercourse under section 366A of the Indian Penal Code, which is now reflected into section 96 of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. What are the facts of the case? So, Rajaram was accused of inducing a minor girl to leave her lawful guardian's custody with the intent that she would be forced or seduced into the illicit intercourse. The prosecution contended that Rajaram's action fell under the section 366A of the IPC, which criminalized the procurement of minor girl for illicit intercourse. The defense argued that the girl willingly accompanied and that he had no criminal intent. What were the legal issues? First, what constitute inducement under section 366A of IPC? Second, does mere willingness of the girl absolve the accused? Third, is it necessary to prove the actual illicit intercourse or is intent likelihood enough? Now let's go through what were the judgment. The Supreme Court of India held that inducement does not require force or physical coercion. It can be any act or persuasion, allurement, influence that convince the minor girl to leave her guardian's protection. The girl's willingness is irrelevant if the accused played an active role in making her leave. Since she was a minor, the law assumed that she cannot legally consent. It is not necessary for illicit intercourse to actually happen. The offence is complete if the accused had the intent or knowledge that such an act was likely. Key observations by the court. The law aims to protect minors from exploitation even if they appear to by consenting. If the accused knew or had reason to believe that the minor girl will be subjected to illicit intercourse, it is sufficient for conviction. Even indirect persuasion such as offering gifts, making false promises, emotional manipulation can constitute inducement. Final decision. Rajaram was convicted under section 366A of the IPC. The court emphasized that laws protecting minors should be interpreted strictly to prevent the exploitation. Significance of the judgment. Clarified the scope of inducement. It includes any act that influences a minor to leave, not just a physical force. Established that a minor's consent is immaterial in such cases. Reinforced the protective nature of law. The offence is complete based on intent and likelihood even if the illicit intercourse does not actually occur. Since section 96 of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita is similar to section 366A of the IPC, this judgment remains a key precedent in interpreting the cases related to procuring a minor for illicit intercourse. Now let's go through the conclusion. So, offence against children represents a profound violation of a trust and human rights, demanding zero tolerance from society. The impact of such crimes extends beyond the victims, affecting the families, communities, while weakening the moral fabric of the society. Prevention, early intervention, and strict legal measures are crucial in ensuring children's safety and well-being. Furthermore, rehabilitation, long-term support for survivors are essential to help them heal and rebuild their lives. Protecting children is not just a legal necessity but a fundamental moral duty, and that requires collective effort from individual, institution and government. Only through vigilance, education and unwavering commitment we can create a world where every child is safe, nurtured and free from care and harm.
Kenvi, thank you very much. It was really a nice overview of the offences related to child. So thank you very much. A small token from Hammurabi to you.